Have you ever just sat back and realized how normal everything feels right now? You're probably just scrolling on your phone, hanging out, going about your day. But behind the scenes, the world is literally transforming into a sci-fi movie. I'm talking about massive, rideable mechs, robots that are basically becoming our coworkers, and tech that can actually rewrite human DNA. It all sounds totally crazy, right? But it's happening right now in 2026. Stick around because we're taking a sneak peek into the insane emergent technologies that are about to change the world forever. Let's get into it. So for years, we've watched viral videos of robots doing backflips in controlled labs, but they were basically just multi-million-dollar research products. But in 2026, the industry has finally officially crossed the finish line. We are no longer just building artificial intelligence that talks to us on a screen. We are putting that AI into physical, human-sized bodies and sending them out into the real world. The humanoid robot race is moving at a breakneck speed. Take Figure 03, which is currently ranked as the top commercial humanoid robot out there. It's powered by an insane Helix AI platform that lets it hold real-time conversations, reason through multi-step problems, and fix its own mistakes autonomously. It even has tiny cameras embedded right into its palms for millimeter-level precision. Meanwhile, Tesla has officially pushed its Optimus Gen 3 into mass production at its Fremont factory. They give it 22 degrees of freedom in its hands, meaning it has the human-like dexterity to do everything from heavy factory lifting to delicate office tasks. The reality is, the silicon-based workforce is no longer a concept. It is physically walking among us, and these machines are about to fundamentally change domestic chores, warehouse logistics, and the entire global economy. If you are a warehouse manager looking for a heavy-duty workhorse that can carry 55-pound payloads all day long, the Apptronic's Apollo is definitely something you would want to consider. But if you are looking for a quiet, incredibly lightweight assistant to just fetch you a drink and tidy up your living room, the 30-kilogram 1X Neo home robot is definitely the one you want to look at. All right, we are so used to staring at glass screens and typing out our prompts, but the future of technology is about getting rid of the screen entirely. The tech industry is aggressively shifting towards ambient computing, where artificial intelligence just lives in the background of your environment, constantly watching, learning, and helping. The biggest game changer dropping right now is the highly anticipated partnership between OpenAI and legendary former Apple designer Johnny Ive. They are preparing to launch an AI-powered smart speaker that is completely redesigning how we interact with tech. Priced between $200 and $300, this isn't just a speaker that plays music. It has an integrated camera with facial recognition that actively reads your surroundings. It doesn't wait for a command. It observes your daily habits, it learns your goals, and it takes action on its own, like automatically initiating purchases you need or suggesting an early bedtime ahead of a scheduled morning meeting. We are stepping into an era where technology ceases to be a tool we actively use and instead becomes an intelligent layer integrated directly into our physical reality. AI is officially becoming a proactive roommate. If you just want a basic voice assistant to set kitchen timers and play your favorite playlist, a standard cheap smart speaker is totally fine. But if you are looking for a highly autonomous agent that can read your environment, actively manage your daily routine, and act as a true digital collaborator, the upcoming OpenAI smart speaker is definitely something you would want to consider. All right, so when natural disasters strike, like earthquakes or building collapses, rescue teams have a massive problem. So humans and traditional robots are just too big to safely navigate deep inside unstable rubble. We needed something small, agile, and practically indestructible. So scientists decided to stop building tiny robots from scratch and just hijacked nature instead. So researchers have successfully figured out how to turn live Madagascar hissing cockroaches into remote-controlled cyborgs. They literally perform a 20-minute surgery to fit these bugs with a tiny high-tech backpack that carries a microprocessor, a camera, and communication modules. By sending tiny electrical pulses directly to the cockroach's antenna, human operators can steer the bug like a remote-controlled car through incredibly tight, dangerous spaces. Right now, they are being deployed in pilot projects to crawl deep underground and inspect utility pipelines for leaks using machine learning algorithms. Now, fusing living biological organisms with advanced microelectronics is simultaneously one of the coolest and most terrifying technological leaps of 2026. It proves that the future of robotics might actually be part flesh. Now, obviously, you're not going to be getting one to run around your apartment, but if you're a city planner looking for a highly efficient way to inspect miles of dark, damp underground utility pipes, or you run an elite search and rescue team, this biomachine integration is definitely a technology that you're going to want to consider. So for a long time, curing severe genetic diseases was just a theoretical dream. And then came CRISPR, or CRISPR, which acted like a molecular scissors to cut out bad DNA. But in 2026, we upgraded from blunt scissors to a highly precise genetic word processor. We are seeing massive leaps in prime editing and base editing technologies. Instead of severing the DNA helix and hoping it repairs correctly, scientists can now perform exact search and replace functions on our genetic code with almost zero off-target side effects. For example, a base editing candidate called VERV-102 has entered expanded trials right now to permanently inactivate a specific gene in the liver, and this permanently lowers bad cholesterol, essentially curing conditions like familial hypercholesterolemia. We are moving away from the old medical model of giving people pills for the rest of their lives. We are entering an era of one and done. Prophylactic genetic conditions where doctors simply rewrite your code and cure the disease permanently. Now, if you are a hospital network or a clinical lab manager looking to upgrade your genomic therapy capabilities, investing in molecular biology workflows, and testing platforms that support high precision search and replace, validation is definitely something you would want to consider to stay ahead of the curve. Now, we all know climate change is a massive issue, but just planting trees and driving electric cars isn't going to be enough. We actually need to actively scrub the carbon dioxide that is already trapped in our atmosphere. And right now, in West Texas, a massive $1.3 billion project called Stratos is gearing up for a commercial operation. Built by 1.5 and Occidental, this is the world's largest direct air capture facility. It literally uses giant fan systems to suck in ambient air, extract the carbon dioxide, and safely bury it deep underground. Once fully operational, this single plant is designed to remove 500,000 tons of CO2 from the sky every single year. Tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft are already buying up the carbon removal credits to offset their massive footprints. We are officially industrializing the Earth's atmosphere cleanup. This proves that pulling greenhouse gases directly out of the sky is no longer just a science experiment, it's a fully funded commercial reality. If you're a massive corporation looking to hit your net zero carbon goals quickly by offsetting your unavoidable emissions, purchasing carbon removal credits from a facility like Stratos is definitely something you would want to consider. So the International Space Station has been humanity's home in the stars for over 2 decades, but it's getting old and it is scheduled to retire soon. And instead of NASA building a new one, the private sector is stepping up to build the ultimate off-world real estate. We are officially entering the era of commercial space stations. Companies like Vast are preparing to launch Haven 1, a commercial station that will host 4 astronauts for up to 2 weeks in low Earth orbit. And it's not just going to be a cramped tin can. Another joint venture called Star Labs is actually partnering with Hilton Hotels to design their cruise suites and communal areas to make the orbital stay as comfortable as possible. Space is no longer a harsh environment strictly reserved for government astronauts and intense scientific research. It is rapidly becoming a commercial vacation and business destination. So, if you're an independent researcher, a foreign space agency, or just a really wealthy tourist looking for a low Earth orbit getaway with actual hotel level comfort, booking a ticket to a commercial station like Haven 1 or Starlab is definitely something you would want to consider. All right, since the Concorde retired, commercial flights haven't gotten any faster. In fact, we basically fly at the same speeds we did in the 1960s. But the aerospace industry is currently skipping supersonic entirely and going straight for hypersonic. In March 2026, an Atlanta-based company called Hermes successfully completed the test flight of their quarter-horse Mk 2.1 aircraft. Now, this drone is about the size of an F-16 and uses a radically unique hybrid Chimera engine that can take off from a normal runway like a traditional jet and then switch into a high-speed ramjet mid-flight. Now, they are rapidly iterating their designs with the ultimate goal of flying at Mach 5, which is over 3,800 miles per hour. And at that speed, a flight from New York to London would take just about 90 minutes. The aerospace industry is compressing decades of traditional development timelines into just months. Hypersonic travel is about to completely shrink the globe. So, if you're a logistics company or a defense contractor looking to move high-priority freight across the Atlantic in under 2 hours, investing in hypersonic transport partnerships with companies like Hermes is definitely something you would want to consider. Next up, we're talking about electric vehicles, and they are incredibly popular, but let's be honest, range anxiety and slow charging times are still huge hurdles for a lot of people. And to fix this, the entire foundation of how we store energy is getting a massive upgrade in 2026. We are finally seeing the commercial rollout of two game-changing battery techs. First, Toyota is making huge strides with their solid-state batteries, which will replace the liquid inside the battery with a solid material. These are projected to give EVs a massive 620-mile range and can just charge in minutes. On the flip side, CATL, the world's largest battery maker, is aggressively deploying sodium-ion batteries, and these use cheap, abundant salt instead of expensive lithium, operate perfectly in freezing weather, and are drastically cheaper to produce. The battery bottleneck that has held back the EV revolution is officially breaking. Electric vehicles and smart grid storage are about to become cheaper, charge faster, and last a lot longer. If you're a commuter looking for an electric vehicle that won't give you range anxiety in the winter and charges almost as fast as filling up your tank of gas, waiting for a car equipped with a solid-state battery is definitely something that you're going to want to consider. All right, we all know the frustration of hitting a cellular dead zone. You're out on a hike or driving through a remote area, and suddenly you have 0 bars. Building cell towers everywhere just isn't physically or economically possible. SpaceX is fixing this by putting the cell towers in space. They are rapidly scaling their Starlink direct-to-cell network by launching specialized satellites into low Earth orbit. They can beam a 4G LTE signal directly to the standard smartphone you already have in your pocket. No special hardware required. In 2026, they're expanding this globally with major roaming partners like T-Mobile in the US, Rogers in Canada, and Optus in Australia. The concept of a cellular dead zone is officially being eradicated. We are entering an era of true, uninterrupted global connectivity. So, if you are an avid hiker, a sailor, or just someone who frequently travels off the grid, and you need reliable emergency texting and data connectivity, upgrading to a wireless carrier that partners with the Starlink direct-to-cell network is definitely something that you're going to want to consider. Which of these game-changing new technologies do you think will have the greatest impact on the world? Are you ready to have a humanoid robot folding your laundry? Or are the cyborg cockroaches a little too creepy for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sneak peek into 2026, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and check out this next video on the screen. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.